Hello, welcome to Start Your Own Profitable Online Coaching Business with me, Claire Perry-Louise. I'm so pleased that you're here, and I'm excited to share many years of experience that I've acquired around running an online business and really giving you some tips and tricks that are going to get you started quickly and set you up for success. So looking at the course as, an overview of the course, we're going to have lots of different aspects. So from the very beginning about how to start, how to set yourself up to be successful. And that's really, really important because how we start anything is generally how we end something. So where we plan a bit better and where we think about our goal setting and what do we want to achieve from this business, it's going to set us up in a way that's going to be a really strong way to move forward and to get the successes that we really want to achieve. And ultimately, it's about what lifestyle are you trying to achieve? Because that's really why we make these life choices around, what we're going to do for work, or how do we want to work, or where do we want to work, all of those things. That's really, really important. But also that's really important as well is thinking about the practicalities. So sometimes we can get drawn into a vision. So if you want to work and be an online coach, you might be thinking, brilliant, I can do this wherever I want to in the world. I can be flexible with my schedule. I don't need to answer to anybody else. I can, call the shots, so to speak. But then you think to yourself, okay, well, how does this work in a practical sense? How am I going to set up my website? How am I going to take bookings? How am I going to make sure that my clients are on track? Well, they're all the things that we're going to cover in this course. So by the end, you will know the answer to every question I've posed so far. So sort of dig in, get your book out, make notes. But more than making notes, I would say one of the biggest things that we can do is we can take trainings and have all these brilliant ideas and feel really inspired, but we really need to take action, because where we take action is where the results come from. And so sometimes action isn't perfect. It's just the first step. And if you do something and it doesn't work out, it's always feedback. So I've had clients before and I haven't set boundaries, for example. And so it has meant that I've been emailing all times of the day or answering queries or just really spending lots of time when really they've just taken out an hour's coaching session with me, and it ends up being much more than that. So, but I would not have understood that you need to set out boundaries early on in your relationship if it hadn't been for the fact that I'd taken that action and actually had the clients to start with. So what I've learned over the years is you will do something, you will, take on a new client, but maybe you don't get them to sign a coaching agreement. And so what happens is the boundaries are really sloppy and no one knows whether, when can they call you? Can they email you? Is it just during the session they get advice? Do you share your phone number with them? All of those things I've learned. And so as time's gone on, I've got to grips with, okay, how shall we set out this relationship from the beginning? Because when both parties know that the relationship has certain parameters, then nobody becomes disappointed. So it's always about setting out expectations and also understanding the expectations of the person that you are coaching. Because if they think that by the end of your coaching session, you're going to, got them 58 clients and they're all spending £1,000 a week with them, but you actually can't do that, which sounds completely unachievable when I just said it out loud. But it's like, well, if that's not going to happen, you are going to have a mismatch. So you could be the best coach in the whole world, but if you don't meet the expectations of your client is never going to think you're a good coach. However, if you both speak to each other early on, and so if in that example, if I was having an early call with a client before we got started on our coaching program, I would say, okay, how many clients do you currently have? How much experience do you currently have? And if they said, well, I've got 0 clients, I've got 0 experiences, and this is the first time I'm moving into coaching, I could say, well, is it realistic then to have 58 clients paying you £1,000 a week within the first 6 months of us working together. And once you set that out, like, of course that's not possible. Well, I mean, anything's possible, but it's a long shot in those words because you've got no experience, it's a new field, all those kind of things. So, but it's good that you had that conversation earlier on. So we're going to look at your offerings that you can create and, the different types of offerings and how you can deliver those offerings as well. So we've got lots coming up. Sit back, but don't sit back too much because I want you to take some action and make notes. Now, because of everything I've said, the course is going to be step by step, because when things are step by step, it means that you have actionable things you can do to move the dial forward. So wherever you are now, whether you are completely brand new or maybe you've had some clients before, but what we need to do is we need to move you to the next step. So if you've got one client, we need to move you to 2 clients or 3 clients. Or if you have no experience and no clients, we need to move you from no experience to, okay, well, how can I get experience? Because once we move that dial, we start making progress. And humans love progress and they love growth and contribution. They're some of the fundamentals of human needs. So once we can understand more about how we're going to achieve our goals, how we're going to achieve our vision, then we feel, okay, this is easy. We can do this. Maybe it's not easy, but maybe it's like having that set pathway, or having a pathway at least. So I remember being at school, and you go through the process for school, and then you have exams at 16, you have different exams at 18, then maybe you go down the university route, and it's all very set out. And after that, I became a solicitor. So I changed direction and became an entrepreneur about 9 years ago. But before that, I was a solicitor, and I was working in law firms, and it was very set out, and we knew the pathway. So to qualify as a solicitor, you have to do 2 years as a training contract. You have to have a diploma in law. You have to do other qualifications, but it's all very set out. And so even though we're doing something, online coaching is more flexible, we do need to have a pathway to take, and we need to know what the next steps are to move us forward. So hopefully this course will give you those outlines, and which will allow you to achieve things that you really want to. So we're covering mindset, and we're starting off with mindset because mindset is the core of everything. Because things don't come overnight. They take time and attention. They take education of ourselves. They take trial and error. And you need to have a mindset that's going to carry you through that, because not every day is going to be great and not every day is going to be bad. It's like you get a mixture of it. So we're going to look at mindset. We're going to look at the practical tools, and you'll find it all in this course. So I'm looking forward to starting the course with you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about me in the next modules, and we're going to get going. So great to meet you, and I'm pleased that we're doing this journey together, and I'll see you in the next module. Take care. Bye.